Good morning. Well, it's morning for me here in Hong Kong at least. And I'm actually doing a commitment to a very supportive group of women. Sandy Johnson, Shirley Latour, and Roxanne Robinson. They are a group of women that I met at Speaking Right 2018 in California. And I made a commitment to them that on Tuesday I would do a Facebook Live video. Hi, Sandy. Sorry I missed our meeting this morning. It was what, 2:30 in the morning here in Hong Kong. So it's 6:32 in the morning now. So I am keeping my commitment. It's still Tuesday there to do my video. So I wanted to make sure I kept my commitment to you all. So one of the things that we talked about on our first webinar or first Zoom meeting that we did last week was doing things that challenge us. And one of the things that challenged me is doing Facebook Live videos or videos, period. Good morning, Cola. Good morning, Christian. Hey, Stephanie. Well, it's morning for me, so good evening. So what I'm going to talk about today is just a little concept of what it means to love yourself to life. And I started saying that concept or started saying that because we often hear people say, oh, I love you to death. And to me, loving me to death brings darkness because I have been in abusive relationships. And I've almost been loved to death. I've almost been choked to death. I've almost been stabbed to death. I've had life taken away from me. So I know what it feels like to be loved to death. So one thing that I want us to do is to start telling people, oh, I love you to life. And loving me to life means that you're going to motivate me. It means that you're going to encourage me. It means you're going to challenge me, which is what this group of women is doing. They're challenging me to be on this Facebook Live now. And I'm just going to have to start really putting faith over fear in that matter. I want people to hold me accountable. That's what it means when you love somebody to life. You hold them accountable for the things that they say they're going to do. And I know that if I did not do this video, Sandy Johnson I was going to hear from her saying, excuse me, you missed your Tuesday night video, and I really don't want to have to answer to that or to any of the other women in the community. When you say you love somebody to life, you're saying that I'm going to pray for you. I'm not just going to type the words I'm praying for you. You're going to use words or you're actually going to pray for them. And a lot of times, I'll just stop and pray for the person right there where they are, and I'll ask them, okay, what is it that you need prayer about? So loving ourselves to life means doing things that are positive. Here I am in Hong Kong. Had no plans to come to Hong Kong, but it came up. And so I jumped on the opportunity. I got somebody to cover my classes, and I'm definitely going to thank them more when I get back. And here I am in Hong Kong on a Wednesday morning. So that's part of loving myself to life as well. And I encourage you to do things too that don't seem practical, but they're going to give you more exposure to whatever it is that you want to do. So when you ask people to hold you accountable, when you want to love yourself to life, be ready, because they're going to hold you accountable. The right people are going to hold you accountable. And I talk about all of that in my book, Love Yourself to Life. The first chapter talks about that foundation of love yourself to life. And I wrote in page 10, the basis of Love Yourself to Life indicates that we're going to do everything possible to live a fulfilled life without fear, which is what I'm doing now, without blame, without comparing, judging, or allowing others to minimize our God-given promises. And in the book, I talk about self-talk, talk about spending time with God, because the more we spend time with God, the more we'll learn to love ourselves to life. And it's so important. He doesn't call us negative names. And that's a part of our self-talk, is what are we saying to ourselves? The things that we say to ourselves, the things that we say out loud, when you say life and death is in the power of the tongue, it is true. I want you to speak positive words over yourself. So what's today there? It's Tuesday there. It's Wednesday for me here. I want you the rest of this week is to start saying positive things whenever something negative pops up into your thought process, because that's what Satan wants us to do. He wants us to be defeated. He wants us to think negative about ourselves. But you know, God doesn't call us negative words. He doesn't call us negative things or bad things. Satan places those thoughts in our mind, and we have to immediately turn those thoughts into positive thoughts. When I was in a very dark place a while ago, a couple of years ago, I had to keep scripture cards with me because I was in such a dark place that I couldn't form those words that I wanted to say. So I kept scripture cards, and anytime I got low, I would literally just pull out those scripture cards and start speaking the word over my life. And it started changing the way I saw myself. It started changing the way that I talked to myself. And I really began to love myself at that moment. So I encourage you, whether it's scripture cards, some type of motivation card, something to help you start to transition to say, you know what, I love me to life, and I love you to life as well. Also, what I want us to do is to stop saying the words, oh, I love you to death. And let's just start telling people, I love you to life. Because that's what we should be doing. We should be loving each other to life. We should be loving each other so much that we are not comparing ourselves to other people. Because sometimes you look at the outside, and I talk about that in the book also. It's called the stained glass window syndrome. We're seeing things from the outside, looking in at somebody's world. And what we're seeing is this beautiful stained glass window. When actually, if you go inside of that person's life, what you'll find is that what looks like a beautiful stained glass window is actually different colors of tape taped onto this window to keep this person's life together. They may be struggling one way or another, and every time they have a struggle, they put a different color tape on that window. So what you're seeing from the outside looks beautiful, but what they may be dealing with on the inside of those doors can be darkness. So we need to definitely avoid the comparison trap and think that just because what people are saying, just because what they're posting on social media, that they're not having struggles. We all have them. I'm about to have some more struggles today with these edges because it is humid over here. But we all have struggles. So make sure that you are not looking at somebody else's life wishing you had their life, because you never know what's going on with them at that moment. So just a quick video to give you a quick preview of what I consider as love yourself to life. So start telling each other, tell somebody this week, girl, I love you to life, man, I love you to life, and then just see how it changes their atmosphere of us just telling them I love you to life. When they ask you to explain it, tell them, I don't want to love you to death. I want to motivate you. I want to encourage you. I want to challenge you. I want to hold you accountable. I want to pray for you. That's what I mean when I say I want to love you to life. So that is what we're going to do this week. We're going to tell people I love you to life. You're going to practice positive self-talk. If you already do it, awesome. If you don't, that's something I want you to do this week. Every time a negative thought pops in your head, I want you to refute that negative thought with a positive thought. And just keep saying it. Don't just think it in your mind. Let me say that. Don't just think it in your mind. You have to say it out of your mouth. Okay, so say those positive things out of your mouth. I love you all, and I will see you later. I've got to get going right now. And you all have a great day. Thank you all for joining. Hey, Margot, Evelyn, Latoya, China, Missy Lane. Hey, Trina. Hi, Alicia. Oh, Alicia, yes. One of the things that we do in our group is that we have to tell what time we're going to do something, which time zone we're doing it in, so that we're holding each other accountable. That's something they talked about in the CAP Institute. Not just saying, I'm going to do it on Monday. No, Monday, what time zone? So that's something that when you're holding people accountable, you got to give them all that information. So thank you, Alicia. While we were down there, you all gave us that great information. You all have a great night. I'm going to get out and start my day today and explore more of Hong Kong. Take care. I love you to life. I love you too, Stephanie.